Hello, good morning. I hope you're having a nice Sunday. Today, I am going to continue on where I left off on Saturday evening, finishing drawing some bedrooms. I think I'm going to slowly make the lines bigger and bigger as I go towards this side so that it doesn't take forever to do this wall. My hands still waking up a bit. I only realized when I started trying to draw kitchens last week that I've never actually drawn any indoor spaces, and all of my landscape work has been located outside. It's quite a surprise for me. I feel like if I had this much pattern above my head, I wouldn't be able to sleep. Don't know why. Just feels rather chaotic to me. I'll just color this like this. This paint is a bit crusty today. Just need to dampen it, soften it, so that it comes out in smooth lines. I was kind of like debating whether I should just draw all of the bedrooms, or just whenever I do interiors, not video myself, because it's just something so new that I don't have anything to say because I'm just so absorbed in the work of doing it. Then I realized it's a good idea to still practice having the camera on my work. As odd as it feels. Because anyways, at the moment, sorry, I dropped off. I completely forgot what I was about to say. I just got so focused on drawing these lines. I'm trying to think about how I need to reactivate this paint, whether I should mix it in my palette. Let's see. Do you see how crusty it's gotten? I don't understand why some paint pots, some paint colors, it's like they never stop being smooth and creamy, and others always get chunky bits in them. Okay, let's see. That's a bit better. As you can see, yesterday when I was painting the bedroom, I got a bit frustrated with the wall, these intersections. I was a bit sleepy too. I've never really done perspective within 4 walls, so it's sort of a new thing. And I just feel a little frustrated. I just want to already be good at it, you know? And then, all of a sudden, yesterday I started to really enjoy the process of being a beginner at something again. And you remember how exciting art is, because you can never ever be a master of anything. I mean, there's just so much that you can't be a master of it all, and you can spend your entire life learning and still have stuff left to learn in art. And it just makes it more exciting. And at the same time fun, because there is no destination to reach in art. You can just spend time exploring wherever you want. I think it's very interesting how the pattern has slowly changed as I've tried to reduce the amount of time I have to spend on it. Like here, I started it so tiny. If I kept to that size, I would have been here all day. And here it was dark. I'm glad I managed to keep the pattern correct coming up. Whew. I was worried about that corner. And as soon as I said I'm happy about that, I've made a massive mistake here. Whew. Goodness. Okay. Can't celebrate too soon. Ever. Sorry. Didn't mean to shove you, camera. I'm just going to do the last thing is just a block of color. I know it's silly, I could have just stuck in there for like 5 more minutes maybe, but I just want it to be done, I realized. Pretend like it's a shadow. Of what? Nothing? Well, it's a shadow if I say it is. Now, let me open up my reference book again. Okay, so it's light blue, this section of the bed. And this pillow is casting some shadow on this pillow. And there's a shadow on the wall over here. And as well on the back pillows. And on this one too. Now this carpet is grey, but I think I'm gonna paint it slightly purple for fun. Oh, and this bit's also blue. But I need to paint it a slightly darker blue shade. Desaturated, too much black, whoops. Just wash my brush. And now too little black. Okay. And that's good. And I'll just put a little bit shadow over here. And it's like a quilted quilt, so it has some little indents. Okay. Shadow over here. Mattress. Now, I'm gonna put a little bit of red with the black to make it purplish red. I mean purplish gray. I realized rather than mixing blue and red and then adding black, it's quicker to just add red to black to make a warm gray. There. We have added a bit too much now because it's gotten a bit muddy. Today, I'm just gonna make it my goal to finish this one painting, and then I'm gonna go eat breakfast. Because I am gonna have pancakes, Sunday pancakes. I'm looking forward to that quite intensely, and perhaps rushing my painting as a result of it. But what can you do? Sunday pancakes. I think I actually should probably just first start with a light coat and then go in darker for the pattern actually. That is my stomach gurgling. I don't know if the camera's picked it up. I woke up pretty late today and decided I would try and switch around my routine of doing my paintings before bed to doing them first thing in the morning. And yeah, I haven't had breakfast yet, so that is why it's howling for food. I'm just putting some of the shadow in before I go in with the different color, because this is not a carpet, this is wood over in this section. And this is a poof, a leather poof by the looks of it. And the poof slightly appears up in the window too, in the mirror. I have to remember to paint the mirror as I paint the rest of the room. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult to get the colors to match if I paint it at the end. There, I think I've managed to make it look a bit 3D. This is almost dry. Just paint the wooden shells in the background. Actually, this is the color of the wall over here. I'll just dilute it a bit. It's cream walls. Too dark. Oh well. And also this wall is being lit up, so it's warm colored. Forget that poster paints reactivate. You have to be careful when you go over other colors. Some you can just brush lightly over and they don't activate if you're very careful. But other times if you go in with too much force, it's not fully dry, comes up very quickly and mixes. The wall is a sort of gradient of color. I think there's another light source from somewhere else, probably. This still, I would like it to be a bit more dry. So I'll bring in the more reddish brown tones on the poof. Let's see. It's too blobby. It needs to be a bit more reddish. First I'm just going to do some red splotches, and then I'll go back in certain panels and use water and blend it together. And the back panels are like 100% this color, but just a tiny bit more red. And these have the least red splotches. And done. Just add 2 panels. And then let me paint these flowers over here. They're so tiny, I'm not really gonna paint them as flowers. They're just gonna be pink blobs. Or one pink blob, in fact. I forgot to paint the carpet in on the mirror. Just do the dull tone first. And then I'll mix a color for the floor. It's more of a layered think there's some reds, reddy browns, and purpley browns. It's more reddy brown in this section, and then in the mirror when it's reflected back, it looks sort of purpley brown. Forgot to shade under the desk. Oops. Paint some brown on top now. And then we have some lighter brown in this bit. Wow, it's incredible how different the colors. I just looked at my camera screen and they look so much more brighter than they do on my page. Looks like super red. Now let me take a pause and decide what to work on next, because I have to let this dry, the wood dry, before I do anything else to it. I think I'll actually paint the bed pattern next. I have to remind myself, I'm not going for perfection. I'm just trying to finish this page as quickly as possible, because I've been being a tad bit too careful with all my brush strokes, I feel. Fact, I'm just gonna rush through the ending bit, even though I've done it so well up till now, because I'm hungry and I want pancakes, and I don't want to go through this painful torture of waiting any longer. If that means an ugly painting, then it will mean an ugly painting. I don't want to finish this, I don't want to take this painting over to another day, so. And then I'll do the rug. I think I need to put a bit more black into it, because I'll probably dry a lot lighter than it looks right now. So let me just mix some more black into my paint. There. I'm trying to make myself focus on not making finished paintings. But I keep on forgetting that, and I just start going into perfectionist mode when it's just supposed to be fun and quick, focused on quantity, not quality, or just, filling the page. However ugly it may turn out. And this is like a graphite portrait on the wall. And I'm not even gonna do all the details, I'm just going to make it gray. Paint this thing green. I'll just add some red splotches, some dots to these pillows. And even though it's actually gray, I think I'll paint this bear-like creature yellow. And just dab him dry a bit. Paint on his details again. Although I'm painting them on slightly differently. I'm making him a bit more foxy or raccoony. He was actually sitting up against the pillow, but I felt like putting him down. There. Finished. I wanted to complete 2 pages today. This one and the other, but sometimes it's a good idea to stop before you get tired of something, so that's easy to come back to it tomorrow. Doesn't feel you're not overtired. It is my Sunday. I'm supposed to be relaxing. Let's see, after breakfast. I do have some homework that I have to do, but if I have some time and energy after I finish that, maybe I can keep on painting. But that's all for now. Goodbye. Hope you have a nice weekend.